Relying on a single source of income is one of the riskiest financial strategies most people adopt without realizing it. From early adulthood, society reinforces the notion that a steady job, regular paycheck, and incremental raises are the foundation of security. Parents, mentors, and workplaces all echo the same message. Find a stable employment, climb the ladder, and life will be safe. But the truth is far more unsettling. Dependence on one income exposes individuals to economic fluctuations, but organizational changes and personal setbacks, threats that no paycheck, promotion, or job security can fully mitigate. The first danger is external dependency. When all income flows from a single source, your financial stability is tied to factors outside your control. Company decisions, market downturns, layoffs, or sudden economic crises can strip away your primary revenue stream in an instant. Years of effort, expertise, and loyalty cannot prevent external disruptions. When the illusion of security, built on a steady paycheck, collapses the moment the system fails. Relying solely on one income is like placing all your eggs in a fragile basket. Second, limited income creates stagnation. A single paycheck inherently has a ceiling. No matter how much effort you put in, there is only so much a company can pay, a role can offer, or a schedule can accommodate. Promotions or bonuses may temporarily increase compensation, but they do not remove the fundamental limitation. Income is tied to the finite hours and responsibilities of a single position. While expenses often rise steadily, income may plateau, creating a hidden risk of financial strain even for hardworking professionals. The psychological impact of dependence is subtle yet pervasive. Individuals who rely on one income often feel trapped, constrained by fear of failure, or compelled to work in roles misaligned with their potential. The decisions become reactive, staying in a job for security, avoiding risk, and sacrificing autonomy. Over time, this mindset reinforces vulnerability, reducing the ability to pursue opportunities that could diversify income or create long-term wealth. Dependence breeds both financial and psychological risk. Diversification is the key to mitigating this vulnerability. Just as investors spread capital across multiple assets to reduce exposure, professionals must spread income across multiple streams. Side ventures, investments, freelance projects, or entrepreneurial initiatives create alternative pathways for revenue. Diversification does not merely increase earnings, it reduces dependence, provides resilience against external shocks, and creates opportunities for growth that a single income can never offer. Understanding the real cost of one income dependence is crucial. It is not only about missed financial potential, but also about freedom, flexibility, and control. A single income dictates lifestyle choices, career decisions, and long-term plans. Every vacation delayed, opportunity deferred, or risk avoided is a consequence of financial dependency. Freedom is only attainable when income is decoupled from singular sources, allowing individuals to choose a strategy over necessity. By the end of this audiobook, you will understand why relying on a single source of income is a financial risk few recognize, how this reliance traps time and energy, and the actionable strategies to build resilience. From creating multiple income streams to leveraging skills and assets, you will see that true security is not guaranteed by a paycheck. It is earned through diversification, foresight, and the strategic action. In the chapters that follow, we will explore the hidden dangers of dependence, practical ways to diversify, and methods to protect your time, skills, and financial future. By the end, you will know how to design a career and financial life that is resilient, flexible, and independent, ensuring that risk is managed, and opportunity is maximized. Chapter 1: The hidden risks of a single income. Many professionals never pause to examine the hidden vulnerabilities of relying on a single source of income. From the start of their careers, individuals are trained to believe that a stable job with a steady paycheck is synonymous with security. This belief, while comforting, is deeply flawed. Dependence on one income creates structural risks that are rarely visible until an unexpected event, layoff, market downturn, or personal crisis exposes the fragility of the system. Understanding these hidden risks is the first step toward financial resilience and independence. The most obvious risk is the vulnerability to economic fluctuations. Even the most stable industries are not immune to disruption. Market downturns, automation, corporate restructuring, or global economic crises can eliminate positions, reduce hours, or cut salaries overnight. Those who rely solely on one paycheck are left without alternatives, forced to scramble for survival. Years of consistent performance and loyalty provide no immunity against systemic shocks. Dependence on a single income source is a fragile strategy because it transfers control of financial security to external entities. A second risk lies in limited growth potential. Linear income is capped by role, experience, and organizational structure. Raises, promotions, and bonuses often increase income incrementally, but this growth is rarely proportional to effort, time, or value delivered. Meanwhile, expenses tend to increase steadily, often outpacing incremental gains. Without a supplementary streams of revenue, individuals become trapped in a cycle where financial growth lags behind lifestyle demands. This stagnation erodes long-term wealth-building potential, even when the primary income source appears sufficient. Job dependency also limits autonomy. Those with only one income source are constrained in their choices, often prioritizing organizational demands over personal development or strategic opportunities. Career decisions are driven by necessity rather than ambition, limiting creativity, flexibility, and long-term growth. Over time, this dependency fosters a reactive mindset. Decisions are made to preserve income rather than to maximize leverage or opportunity. Professionals become cautious, risk-averse, and dependent on structures that do not prioritize their success. Psychological stress is another consequence. Knowing that all financial stability hinges on a single income creates tension, anxiety, and pressure. Professionals often delay key life decisions, investments, relocation, education, or entrepreneurship due to fear of destabilizing the sole income source. The pressure to perform and maintain security reduces focus on strategic, high-leverage activities that could generate wealth independently. The single-income mindset subtly undermines both financial and personal freedom. Dependence also limits learning and the skill diversification. When a paycheck is the primary objective, but individuals tend to specialize narrowly in tasks required by their role, rather than exploring transferable skills or entrepreneurial opportunities. This narrow focus reinforces linear growth and dependence. In contrast, professionals who diversify income must cultivate a range of skills, investment knowledge, digital expertise, business acumen, that expand their capacity to generate multiple revenue streams. Skill diversification is both a hedge against risk and a pathway to freedom. Lifestyle risk is frequently overlooked. When expenses are calibrated to a single income, any interruption threatens financial stability. Vacations, lifestyle upgrades, or emergency expenditures can become sources of stress. Without alternative income, sudden life events, medical emergencies, family responsibilities, or unexpected costs force trade-offs between stability and opportunity. Reliance on one income makes life inherently less flexible and increases vulnerability to unforeseen circumstances. Another hidden risk is the loss of negotiation power. Professionals dependent on a single income often accept less favorable conditions because they fear jeopardizing their paycheck. This compromises their ability to advocate for higher pay, better benefits, or more strategic roles. Independence through diversified income streams creates leverage in negotiations, allowing professionals to make decisions from a position of strength rather than necessity. Finally, over-reliance on one income stifles long-term wealth-building strategies. Linear work generates income that ceases if hours are reduced or employment ends. In contrast, multiple streams of income, whether from investments, side ventures, or scalable projects, create resilience and compounding potential. Diversification transforms income from a fragile resource into a platform for sustainable growth. By spreading risk across several streams, professionals protect against volatility and create pathways to true financial freedom. In summary, the hidden risks of relying on a single income include economic vulnerability, limited growth, reduced autonomy, psychological stress, narrow skill development, lifestyle constraints, loss of negotiation leverage, and hindered wealth creation. Awareness of these risks is the first step toward transformation. Professionals who recognize these vulnerabilities are better equipped to take strategic actions that protect time, skill, and financial security. Diversification is not merely an option, it is a necessity for long-term resilience and independence. Chapter 2: How Dependence Limits Your Freedom. Dependence on a single source of income shapes every aspect of professional and personal life, often in ways that are subtle yet profound. At first glance, a steady paycheck provides comfort, predictability, and routine. Over time, however, this dependence creates constraints on decision-making, lifestyle choices, career mobility, and long-term wealth creation. The limitations of relying on one income are not always obvious, but they erode freedom in both tangible and psychological ways, restricting the ability to pursue opportunities and control your own trajectory. One of the most immediate constraints is decision-making. Professionals tied to a single income often prioritize stability over opportunity. Career decisions, relocation, or even entrepreneurial initiatives are weighed against the risk of jeopardizing the paycheck. This mindset fosters caution and risk aversion, narrowing the range of possible choices. Rather than proactively shaping their careers, individuals react to circumstances, placing financial security above strategic growth. Dependence on a single income shifts autonomy from the individual to the employer, reducing freedom to act intentionally. Time allocation is another area where dependence limits freedom. When your primary source of income dictates your hours, energy, and a schedule, there is little flexibility for personal projects, side ventures, or skill development. Each hour worked for linear compensation reduces the time available to cultivate leverage or explore alternative income streams. Professionals may feel productive, but their energy is consumed by tasks that do not scale, leaving minimal bandwidth for high-impact activities that could break dependence and increase freedom. Financial constraints also reinforce behavioral limitations. A single income often sets boundaries on lifestyle, spending, and long-term planning. Vacations, educational pursuits, or investments may be postponed or scaled back due to fear of destabilizing financial security. Over time, the financial dependency creates a form of inertia. People remain in roles or routines that do not align with their long-term objectives because deviation feels too risky. This inertia is invisible but powerful, silently eroding autonomy. Psychologically, dependence breeds a stress and vulnerability. Knowing that all financial stability hinges on one source amplifies pressure, anxiety, and caution. Professionals may avoid negotiation, decline opportunities, or accept unfavorable conditions simply to protect their income. The emotional cost of dependence is subtle but accumulates over time, reducing confidence and the willingness to take calculated risks. Stress, fear of loss, and uncertainty become invisible shackles, limiting freedom of thought, action, and ambition. Career mobility is directly impacted by dependence. Professionals tied to a single income are often hesitant to leave or change roles, or even if alternatives promise growth or higher leverage. The comfort of routine and predictability traps individuals in positions that may not align with their skills, ambitions, or potential. Over-reliance on one source of income creates a golden handcuffs effect. The paycheck is attractive enough to keep individuals tethered, yet insufficient to produce independence or long-term wealth. Dependence also limits the ability to experiment. Entrepreneurship, side ventures, or new skill development often carry uncertainty. Professionals reliant on a single paycheck may avoid experimentation entirely, fearing that failure could compromise stability. As a result, creativity, innovation, and a strategic initiative are stifled. Freedom requires the ability to test, iterate, and explore multiple avenues for growth, opportunities that dependence on a single income severely constrains. Skill development suffers under this model as well. When income is tied solely to a current role, professionals often invest narrowly in skills directly applicable to their immediate job, neglecting transferable or high-leverage abilities. This limits the capacity to generate independent income streams, reduces bargaining power, and restricts career flexibility. Over time, skill dependence mirrors financial dependence, narrowing the range of opportunities and reinforcing the limitations imposed by a single income. Well, even lifestyle flexibility is curtailed. Dependence on one income dictates housing choices, travel, and personal expenditures. Major decisions, buying property, investing in education, or pursuing creative projects, are filtered through the lens of risk associated with income loss. The result is a slow erosion of freedom, where financial decisions are reactive rather than proactive, and opportunities are evaluated primarily for safety rather than potential impact or growth. Finally, dependence limits long-term strategic thinking. Professionals preoccupied with protecting a single income are less likely to explore wealth-building avenues that operate independently of daily labor. Investments, side businesses, intellectual property, and the scalable ventures require time, energy, and risk tolerance, all of which are constrained by dependence. By prioritizing stability over leverage, individuals forfeit compounding opportunities that could provide freedom, influence, and financial resilience. In summary, dependence on a single income restricts freedom across multiple dimensions: decision-making, time, finances, psychology, career mobility, experimentation, skill development, lifestyle, and long-term strategy. Each hour, choice, and effort is filtered through the lens of preserving stability, reducing autonomy, and limiting growth. Understanding how dependence constrains freedom is essential for professionals seeking to escape the linear work model. The path forward requires diversification, strategic leverage, and deliberate actions that increase independence, reduce vulnerability, and maximize the ability to control one's career and financial destiny. Chapter 3: Multiple Income Streams, the Foundation of Security. Relying on a single source of income is inherently fragile, but the solution is both straightforward and strategic. Build multiple income streams. Diversifying income is not about greed, ambition, and/or overextending yourself. It is about creating resilience, independence, and long-term stability. By establishing multiple revenue channels, professionals reduce vulnerability to external shocks, increase leverage, and gain freedom to make decisions without being dictated by a single paycheck. Understanding how to develop and manage multiple income streams is critical for escaping financial fragility. The concept of multiple income streams begins with redefining what income actually represents. Traditionally, income is seen as a direct exchange for labor, a fixed reward for hours worked. In this linear model, the value of your time is capped by the constraints of your role and employer. Multiple income streams, however, decouple effort from results. Instead of exchanging hours for money, each stream is structured to generate revenue independently or in proportion to scalable leverage, multiplying outcomes without requiring proportional increases in time spent. There are several categories of income streams to consider. The first is earned income, wages, salaries, or fees directly tied to work. This remains important as a foundation, but should not be the sole source of revenue. The second is profit-based income, revenue generated through business ventures, partnerships, or projects where value creation extends beyond immediate labor. Here, effort is invested once, but generates repeated returns, creating a leverage. The third is investment income, returns from stocks, bonds, real estate, or other assets that grow or pay dividends over time. Finally, passive or residual income comes from intellectual property, content, or systems that continue to produce results without continuous intervention. Understanding these categories allows professionals to intentionally diversify, mitigating risk while maximizing potential returns. The practical step to building multiple streams begins with identifying your skills and resources. Each individual has assets, knowledge, expertise, networks, or financial capital that can be converted into additional income channels. For example, a professional with expertise in digital marketing can offer consulting, create online courses, or develop templates and tools that generate ongoing revenue. By leveraging existing knowledge, effort is multiplied whilst transforming one-time work into scalable returns. Time management is essential when developing multiple income streams. Each additional channel requires investment, initially in planning, setup, and execution. Professionals must prioritize high-leverage activities, delegating or automating routine work where possible. Effective time allocation ensures that effort is distributed strategically, allowing simultaneous development of multiple streams without overextending. The goal is not busyness, but leverage. Each hour should generate lasting impact and recurring returns. Networking amplifies income diversification. Connections with peers, mentors, clients, or collaborators create opportunities to expand ventures, secure partnerships, and access markets that would otherwise be unavailable. Strategic relationships reduce the friction and risk associated with launching new income channels. With a single introduction or collaboration can open doors to revenue streams far beyond the capacity of individual effort. Professionals who cultivate networks intelligently multiply both opportunities and results. Risk mitigation is another benefit of multiple income streams. Dependence on a single source creates vulnerability. Diversification spreads risk across various channels. If one source falters, others continue to generate revenue. This creates a buffer that stabilizes cash flow, it reduces stress, and allows for the strategic decision-making without panic. By designing income streams that are complementary and independent, professionals achieve financial resilience and maintain freedom to pursue opportunities without fear. Scaling is the key to long-term impact. Not all income streams are equally valuable. The goal is to identify opportunities that can grow over time with minimal incremental effort. For example, an online course or intellectual property initially requires significant effort to develop, but continues to generate revenue for months or years with minimal maintenance. Similarly, investments or partnerships can produce recurring returns without continuous labor. Scaling allows professionals to leverage effort for exponential outcomes rather than linear results. Financial literacy is crucial for managing multiple income streams. Understanding taxes, reinvestment strategies, risk assessment, and cash flow management ensures that revenue channels contribute effectively to overall financial goals. Professionals who neglect these elements risk inefficiency or vulnerability, even with diversified income. Knowledge empowers decision-making, allowing each stream to function as part of an integrated financial ecosystem rather than isolated projects. Finally, mindset drives the effectiveness of income diversification. Professionals must view income as a system to be built, scaled, and optimized. Each stream is an asset, each investment a lever, and each effort a multiplier. This perspective transforms work from a reactive exchange of time for money into a strategic, long-term approach to freedom and stability. Diversification is not an end in itself. It is a tool to reduce risk, increase influence, and create options. In a summary, multiple income streams provide the foundation of financial security. By combining earned, profit-based investment and passive income, professionals decouple wealth from linear effort, reduce vulnerability, and gain strategic freedom. Leveraging skills, networks, time, and systems multiplies results, creating resilience that a single paycheck cannot provide. The key is intentionality. Planning, scaling, and managing each stream with focus and foresight transforms financial risk into opportunity, laying the groundwork for independence, stability, and long-term growth. With Chapter 4, Diversifying Income, Where to Start and How to Scale. Diversifying income begins with clarity, a strategy, and incremental action. While the concept of multiple income streams is simple in theory, many professionals struggle with execution. The challenge is not generating ideas but prioritizing, planning, and scaling effectively without overextending energy or resources. To create a resilient financial foundation, it is essential to start with high-leverage opportunities and expand systematically, ensuring each stream contributes meaningfully to long-term growth. The first step is assessing your current situation. Understand your primary income source, monthly expenses, skill set, and available resources. This baseline reveals capacity for additional streams and identifies vulnerabilities. Professionals who fail to evaluate their financial landscape often overcommit or misallocate effort, thus producing low-impact results. By clearly mapping income, liabilities, and resources, it becomes possible to identify opportunities for meaningful diversification while avoiding unnecessary risk. Next, identify potential high-leverage income streams aligned with your skills and interests. The most effective streams maximize impact relative to effort and capital. Examples include consulting services, freelance projects, online courses, digital products, content creation, or scalable business ventures. Each option should be evaluated for feasibility, scalability, and independence from your primary income. The goal is to select streams that complement existing work while producing sustainable results over time. Time management is critical during this phase. Diversification requires initial effort, planning, and sometimes learning new skills. Professionals must allocate hours strategically, balancing development of new streams with maintaining performance in their primary role. Overcommitting can lead to burnout, errors, or stagnation. A deliberate schedule ensures that each income stream receives sufficient attention without undermining quality or consistency. Productivity is not about working harder, but focusing on activities that generate compounding returns. Testing is the next essential step. Small-scale experimentation allows professionals to validate ideas before committing significant resources. For example, launching a pilot course, offering consulting sessions to a few clients, or creating a minimum viable product can reveal demand and potential revenue without excessive risk. Testing ensures that time and capital are invested wisely, reducing the chance of failure and optimizing the likelihood of the scalable success. Once a stream shows promise, scaling is the critical step, where systems, automation, and delegation are tools that enable growth without proportionally increasing effort. For instance, online platforms can automate course delivery, marketing, and sales, allowing revenue to continue without daily intervention. Freelance services can be expanded by building a small team or leveraging subcontractors. Business ventures benefit from processes, workflows, and technology that reduce dependency on individual labor. Scaling turns a small experiment into a sustainable, high-impact stream. Financial planning enhances diversification, track revenue, expenses, and reinvestment opportunities for each stream. Income should be allocated strategically, with a portion reinvested to improve or expand streams. This approach maximizes compounding potential and strengthens resilience. Professionals who neglect financial oversight risk inefficiency or instability, even with multiple income sources. Metrics. Accountability and deliberate reinvestment are essential to sustainable growth. Networking is another key factor. Collaborations, partnerships, and strategic relationships can accelerate the development and scaling of income streams. A well-connected professional gains access to clients, mentorship, resources, and markets that may otherwise take years to reach independently. As networking is not simply social interaction, it is a strategic tool that amplifies leverage and shortens the path to a scalable income. Diversification also requires mindset discipline. Professionals must view income streams as a portfolio, each contributing to overall stability and growth. Patience, persistence, and adaptability are critical. Not every stream will succeed immediately. Some may fail entirely. The focus should be on learning, iterating, and optimizing continuously. But strategic thinking ensures that effort is directed toward compounding outcomes, not reactive or short-term gains. Finally, recognize that diversification is a long-term process. Initial income streams may contribute modestly, but over time, compounded growth, scaling, and integration of multiple channels produce significant results. Independence and resilience do not emerge overnight. They are the product of a strategic planning, disciplined execution, and continuous refinement. But the professional who commits to this process gradually shifts reliance from a single paycheck to a robust, diversified financial ecosystem. In summary, diversifying income requires assessment, identification, testing, and scaling of high-leverage opportunities. Strategic time management, financial oversight, networking, and mindset discipline ensure that each stream contributes to resilience and growth. By approaching income as a portfolio rather than a single channel, the professionals reduce vulnerability, maximize opportunity, and create a financial foundation that supports freedom, flexibility, and long-term wealth. Diversification is not merely a safeguard, it is the foundation for sustainable independence and a strategic control over one's financial future. Chapter 5: The Skill Leverage Advantage. One of the most overlooked tools for financial independence and risk reduction is skill leverage. While multiple income streams provide a structural resilience, the ability to amplify your value through transferable, high-demand skills determines how effectively those streams can be built, scaled, and sustained. Skill leverage transforms effort into exponential results, allowing professionals to generate more income, influence, and opportunities without proportionally increasing time spent. Understanding and applying a skill leverage is a critical component of escaping single income dependency. At its core, skill leverage is the ability to convert expertise, knowledge, or specialized talent into multiple forms of value. It is not enough to possess a skill. Its power lies in its transferability, scalability, and demand. For example, a skilled software developer can work for a company, freelance, create digital products, or teach others through online courses. Each avenue multiplies the return on the original skill, creating new income channels and increasing autonomy. But skill leverage ensures that 1 hour of mastery can impact multiple projects, clients, or ventures simultaneously. The first step in applying skill leverage is skill identification. Professionals must evaluate their strengths, expertise, and market relevance. Skills in high demand, such as finance, coding, digital marketing, negotiation, leadership, or strategic planning, offer higher potential for the scalability and monetization. But even niche skills can be leveraged if they solve a specific problem for businesses or individuals. Mapping your skill set against market opportunities provides clarity on where to invest time and energy to maximize leverage. Skill amplification is the next step. Once high-value skills are identified, professionals must package and deliver them in ways that multiply results. This can include teaching, consulting, creating content, or developing systems that automate expertise. For instance, whilst a consultant may serve a single client one-on-one, but by producing online courses or templates, the same knowledge can reach thousands. The key is creating mechanisms that allow a skill to produce recurring or scalable value, rather than remaining confined to linear work. Networking and visibility enhance skill leverage. Connections with mentors, peers, clients, and industry leaders provide platforms to apply, showcase, and monetize the skills. Opportunities often arise from relationships, referrals, or collaborations, expanding the reach and impact of expertise. Professionals who cultivate strategic networks gain access to high-leverage projects, partnerships, and markets that significantly amplify the returns from their skill set. Time management is critical for leveraging skills effectively. Professionals must allocate hours to activities that maximize return, such as developing expertise, creating scalable products, or building networks. routine, but low-leverage tasks should be minimized or delegated. The principle is simple. Every hour should contribute to compounding results rather than being consumed in linear, non-scalable work. Focused effort ensures that the skill investment translates into measurable growth across multiple channels. Skill diversification further enhances leverage. Relying on a single skill may produce linear results, but developing complementary capabilities creates a portfolio of expertise. For example, by combining finance knowledge with digital marketing or business strategy multiplies opportunities for income generation and influence. Diversified skills reduce dependence on a single role or market segment, increasing both resilience and adaptability. Professionals with multiple high-value skills can pivot, collaborate, and expand ventures more effectively. Automation and systems strengthen skill leverage by embedding skills into repeatable processes or products. Professionals convert personal expertise into ongoing revenue. Tools, templates, online courses, and software solutions allow the impact of a skill to extend far beyond individual labor. Each system created becomes a multiplier, freeing time while maintaining or increasing output. This approach transforms a skill from a limited resource into a compounding asset. Risk mitigation is another advantage. While high-leverage skills reduce vulnerability to external shocks by increasing market value and income diversification options. Professionals with sought-after expertise can adapt to changes, transition between industries, or launch ventures with confidence. Skill leverage transforms knowledge into flexibility, autonomy, and security, creating a buffer against the risks inherent in single-income dependence. Finally, mindset drives the effective use of skill leverage. Professionals must view skills not merely as capabilities, but as assets to be multiplied, applied, and scaled. This perspective shifts focus from linear work to strategic impact, transforming effort into compounding results. The combination of high-value skills, strategic application, and leverage mechanisms empowers individuals to create income streams that operate independently, sustainably, and resiliently. In summary, the skill leverage is a cornerstone of financial independence and multiple income streams. By identifying high-value skills, amplifying their application, diversifying expertise, building networks, managing time strategically, and creating scalable systems, professionals maximize impact without proportionally increasing labor. Skill leverage multiplies opportunity, reduces dependency, and enhances resilience, enabling individuals to escape the limitations of a single income. Mastering this principle is essential for creating a career and financial ecosystem that works strategically for you, rather than requiring constant trade of time for money. Chapter 6. Investing in yourself for long-term resilience. Financial independence and security are rarely achieved solely through external opportunities. They are built first within. Investing in yourself, your skills, knowledge, mindset, and capabilities is the single most effective way to create long-term resilience. Unlike external factors such as market conditions, company stability, or economic cycles, personal growth compounds over time and remains under your control. Professionals who prioritize self-investment develop leverage, adaptability, and multiple avenues for income that protect against the risks of relying on a single source of revenue. The first area of investment is skill development. High-value, transferable skills increase earning potential and open doors to diversified income streams. Rather than solely focusing on the requirements of your current job, prioritize skills that are marketable across industries and geographies. Financial literacy, strategic thinking, digital expertise, negotiation, leadership, and problem-solving are examples of capabilities that create compounding opportunities. Each hour invested in building mastery produces returns far beyond immediate compensation. Education is another critical dimension. Continuous learning, whether through formal courses, in certifications, or self-directed study, expands both knowledge and market relevance. Professionals who view education as an ongoing investment maintain adaptability in dynamic industries. They are better positioned to identify emerging trends, capitalize on new opportunities, and transition seamlessly between roles or income streams. Education also builds confidence, providing the foundation to take calculated risks and pursue ventures outside conventional employment. But networking and relationship building are equally vital. Connections with mentors, peers, and industry leaders amplify your influence, create opportunities, and expand access to resources. By strategically investing time and energy into cultivating meaningful relationships, professionals gain leverage that multiplies the returns from both skills and income streams. Relationships often become avenues to collaborations, partnerships, and projects that would otherwise be inaccessible. But creating compounding impact, mindset is a crucial component of self-investment. Resilient professionals cultivate strategic thinking, adaptability, discipline, and long-term focus. A mindset oriented toward growth enables individuals to navigate uncertainty, identify opportunities, and maintain focus on high-leverage activities. It shifts the perception of setbacks from threats to learning opportunities and encourages proactive decision-making. Was investing in mindset ensures that all other personal growth efforts translate into sustainable results. Time management is a form of self-investment. How you allocate your hours determines your capacity to develop skills, pursue opportunities, and scale income streams. Professionals who prioritize high-impact activities, reduce distractions, and delegate or automate lower-value tasks compound the effects of their effort. Structured schedules, focused work blocks, and deliberate reflection all contribute to more effective use of time as a resource. Health and energy management also factor into resilience. Physical and mental well-being are foundational for sustained productivity and performance. Investing in health through exercise, nutrition, rest, and stress management enhances cognitive function, focus, and stamina. Professionals with high energy levels can tackle challenges effectively, seize opportunities, and maintain consistency, which is critical when developing multiple income streams and scaling a skill leverage. Financial knowledge is a specific area of investment with compounding benefits. Understanding budgeting, investing, tax strategies, and risk management allows professionals to make decisions that protect and grow wealth. Strategic allocation of resources ensures that income, whether from primary work or secondary streams, contributes to long-term resilience rather than being consumed by short-term obligations. But financial literacy transforms earnings into tools for independence and security. Creating scalable systems for personal development multiplies returns on self-investment. Documented processes, templates, routines, and learning structures allow you to apply skills repeatedly and efficiently. For example, a professional who codifies consulting frameworks, content creation processes, or client onboarding procedures can scale work without proportional increases in time, ensuring that personal growth and effort generate ongoing value. Finally, reflection and adaptation are integral. Professionals must periodically assess progress, re-evaluate priorities, and adjust strategies. Self-investment is not static. It evolves with markets, opportunities, and personal goals. Continuous refinement ensures that the skills remain relevant, networks productive, and strategies aligned with long-term resilience. Adaptation transforms effort into compounding results, protecting against both external disruption and stagnation. In summary, investing in yourself is the most reliable path to long-term resilience and financial independence. By prioritizing skill development, education, networking, mindset, time management, health, financial literacy, scalable systems, and adaptation, professionals create a foundation that withstands external shocks and multiplies opportunity. Self-investment is a compounding resource that underpins multiple income streams. It reduces reliance on a single source and empowers individuals to navigate uncertainty while maximizing freedom and control. Ultimately, the professional who invests strategically in themselves gains leverage, resilience, and autonomy, a career and financial life that work proactively rather than reactively. Chapter 7: Creating multiple streams of income that actually work. The concept of multiple income streams is widely discussed, yet many professionals fail to implement it effectively. It is not enough to simply diversify. Each stream must be intentional, scalable, and aligned with your skills, resources, and long-term goals. Creating income streams that actually work requires a strategy, focus, and a systematic approach. Without careful planning, additional streams may consume time and energy without delivering meaningful results, leaving professionals no better off than before. The first step is evaluating your assets. Every individual possesses resources that can be converted into revenue, knowledge, skills, networks, capital, or access to opportunities. Assessing these assets allows you to identify which income streams are most feasible, sustainable, and high leverage. For example, expertise in digital marketing could lead to consulting, online courses, or automated tools. Identifying assets ensures that efforts are directed toward areas with the greatest potential for returns. Next, we categorize potential income streams based on effort, scalability, and independence. Some income channels require constant attention, such as freelancing or consulting, while others scale automatically, like online courses, digital products, or investments. Each stream should be evaluated for its ability to contribute to overall financial resilience. The goal is to create a balanced portfolio, a combination of active, semi-passive, and passive income sources that provide both stability and growth. Testing and validation are essential before scaling any stream. Small-scale experiments allow professionals to measure demand, refine offerings, and minimize risk. For instance, launching a beta version of a product, offering consulting to a limited client group, or publishing initial content can reveal viability and revenue potential. Testing reduces wasted effort and ensures that time and resources are invested in streams with measurable outcomes. Automation is a critical factor in ensuring multiple streams function efficiently. Technology, platforms, and systems allow income streams to operate without constant intervention. Online courses, membership sites, automated consulting tools, and investment platforms enable professionals to multiply results without proportional increases in workload. Automation transforms effort from linear to exponential, freeing time for strategic initiatives or additional ventures. Leveraging networks amplifies the effectiveness of income streams. Partnerships, collaborations, and referrals create access to clients, markets, and resources that would otherwise be difficult to reach. Strategic networking expands reach, reduces friction in acquiring new opportunities, and enhances credibility. By applying existing relationships intelligently, professionals can accelerate the development and success of multiple streams while maintaining efficiency. Financial management is another essential component. Each income stream should be tracked, analyzed, and optimized. Allocating resources strategically, reinvesting in growth, managing expenses, and understanding tax implications ensures that each stream contributes meaningfully to overall financial stability. But poor financial oversight can render even successful income streams inefficient or vulnerable, undermining the benefits of diversification. Skill application is a multiplier. Each stream should capitalize on existing expertise to maximize efficiency and returns. Professionals who repurpose skills across multiple channels reduce effort while increasing output. For example, knowledge used in consulting could be transformed into digital products, online courses, or coaching programs. With skill leverage ensures that energy is invested strategically, producing maximum return across income streams. Time allocation is critical. Professionals must prioritize high-leverage streams while minimizing low-impact activities. Building multiple income sources requires focused effort, particularly in the early stages. Establishing routines, blocking dedicated hours, and maintaining consistent execution ensures that each stream grows steadily. Discipline and strategic planning prevent scattered efforts that produce minimal results. Finally, mindset and resilience drive success. Not every stream will succeed immediately. Some may fail entirely. Professionals must approach failure as a learning opportunity and adjust strategies accordingly. Persistence, adaptability, and continuous improvement are essential for turning multiple income streams into a robust financial ecosystem. When each successful stream contributes not only revenue, but also flexibility, freedom, and long-term security. In summary, creating multiple income streams that actually work requires intentionality, strategy, and disciplined execution. Assess assets, categorize streams, test, automate, leverage networks, manage finances, apply skills efficiently, allocate time wisely, and maintain resilience. By building streams that complement each other, professionals reduce dependency on a single income source, enhance freedom, and establish a financial system capable of withstanding external shocks. Done correctly, multiple income streams transform effort into scalable, sustainable results, laying the foundation for both security and growth. Chapter 8. Building leverage. While you climbing the professional ladder without leverage is a slow, exhausting, and often limiting process. Many professionals dedicate years to incremental raises, promotions, and recognition, only to realize that their progress is linear, capped, and entirely dependent on external validation. Building leverage while you climb is the strategic approach that transforms effort into a scalable impact, creating opportunities, income, and influence beyond the confines of a single role or paycheck. Leverage begins with understanding that time, skills, and relationships are the primary assets for growth. Every task performed, every skill developed, and every connection established can be structured to multiply outcomes rather than produce linear results. Professionals who fail to recognize this operate in a reactive mode, trading hours for compensation without creating long-term value. Leverage allows the same effort to produce exponential benefits, accelerating career advancement while building financial independence. One key form of leverage is a skill application. High-value, Transferable skills amplify results across multiple roles and income streams. For instance, expertise in negotiation, leadership, or a strategy can influence outcomes within a current job while simultaneously being monetized through consulting, training, or content creation. By aligning skills with both immediate responsibilities and broader opportunities, professionals create dual impact, advancing their careers while building additional streams of value. Time leverage is another critical factor. Linear work confines productivity to the hours spent on a task, but the strategic professionals identify ways to multiply output. Delegation, automation, and efficient systems are tools to ensure that effort generates recurring or scalable results. For example, developing a repeatable process for client acquisition, reporting, or project management allows impact to grow without proportional increases in personal labor. Every hour invested strategically compounds, accelerating progress while freeing capacity for additional initiatives. Relationships amplify leverage further. Networking with peers, mentors, and industry leaders creates access to opportunities, knowledge, and resources that are otherwise unattainable. Strategic collaborations multiply influence, expand reach, and generate new income channels. Professionals who cultivate high-quality connections gain early insights, partnerships, and support systems that amplify career growth while reducing dependence on any single role or source of revenue. Relationships become a lever, transforming effort into opportunities beyond immediate control. Financial leverage is another aspect of climbing effectively. Managing income strategically, reinvesting in skills or ventures, and creating scalable systems ensures that financial resources work for you, rather than merely supporting survival. For example, redirecting incremental raises into investments, side ventures, or skill development compounds returns over time. Financial leverage reduces vulnerability to external shocks, accelerates independence, and creates flexibility to pursue high-impact opportunities. Leverage also requires mindset alignment. Professionals must prioritize high-impact activities, avoid distractions, and focus on outcomes that multiply results. A linear thinking, where progress is measured by hours worked or immediate compensation, limits potential. A leverage-focused mindset evaluates every effort for its ability to create lasting value, whether through skills, relationships, systems, or financial strategies. This perspective transforms climbing from a reactive pursuit of advancement to a strategic path toward influence and independence. Strategically integrating multiple streams of income while climbing amplifies results further. Professionals who develop additional income channels alongside their career ensure that promotions, raises, or recognition are no longer the sole determinants of financial security. Side ventures, investments, or monetized skills reduce dependency, provide resilience, and create a buffer that allows for risk-taking and opportunity exploration. Climbing the ladder becomes less about survival and more about strategically increasing influence and compounding value. Scaling impact is essential, but leverage is effective only when mechanisms exist to extend influence beyond immediate labor. Standardizing processes, documenting frameworks, creating templates, or developing products transforms personal effort into scalable outputs. For example, a professional who codifies expertise into a training program, online course, or system can multiply results while continuing to advance in their primary role. Scaling ensures that leverage compounds over time, accelerating both career growth and financial independence. Finally, reflection and adaptation solidify leverage. Professionals must periodically evaluate which efforts produce the highest return, adjust strategies, and reallocate resources to maximize outcomes. Climbing without reflection risks wasted effort on low-impact tasks, stagnation, or burnout. A leverage-focused approach combines intentional execution with continuous learning, ensuring that skills, time, relationships, and financial resources consistently produce exponential results. In summary, building leverage while you climb transforms linear effort into scalable results. By strategically applying skills, managing time, cultivating relationships, leveraging finances, integrating multiple income streams, scaling impact, and reflecting on outcomes, professionals accelerate career growth while reducing dependency on any single source of security. Leverage multiplies opportunity, influence, and income in creating a foundation for both professional advancement and long-term financial independence. Climbing the ladder is no longer a slow march, but a strategically amplified journey where effort compounds and freedom grows concurrently. Chapter 9: Protecting yourself against the single income trap. Relying entirely on a single source of income is one of the most significant vulnerabilities professionals face. No matter how secure a job may appear, economic shifts, organizational changes, but technological disruption or unexpected personal circumstances can abruptly destabilize financial stability. Protecting yourself against the single income trap requires strategic planning, diversification, and disciplined execution. It is not about fear. It is about creating resilience, independence, and control over your financial future. The first step is awareness. Understanding the risks inherent in depending solely on one paycheck is crucial. Most professionals often assume that job security is permanent, but history and experience show otherwise. Layoffs, industry disruption, company downsizing, or changes in management can all impact income unpredictably. Recognizing these risks does not create anxiety. It establishes clarity and urgency for proactive measures that safeguard your financial life. Awareness lays the foundation for intentional action. Diversification is the primary tool to mitigate risk. Multiple income streams, earned, profit-based, investment, and passive, reduce dependence on a single source. Each stream acts as a buffer, ensuring that if one falters, others continue to generate revenue. Diversification is not random. It must be strategic. Choosing streams that align with skills, market demand, and long-term goals maximizes both security and growth potential. Professionals who ignore diversification remain exposed to volatility, while those who implement it create a stability and opportunity. Emergency reserves are another essential layer of protection. Maintaining liquid assets equivalent to several months of expenses provides a buffer against sudden disruptions. These reserves allow professionals to navigate transitions without stress, preserving choices and flexibility. An emergency fund is a foundational element that complements diversification, ensuring that immediate needs are covered while strategic income streams and investments continue to develop. Investing in marketable skills strengthens protection. High-demand, transferable skills increase employability and open avenues for additional income streams. Unlike a single paycheck that is tied to a specific role, versatile skills provide leverage across industries, clients, or entrepreneurial ventures. Professionals who continually enhance skills reduce vulnerability to industry shifts and position themselves to generate revenue independently of their primary job. Skill investment is both defense and opportunity. Strategic financial literacy is critical. Understanding budgeting, debt management, investment, taxation, and risk assessment allows professionals to make decisions that protect wealth while creating growth. Proper management ensures that income streams are optimized, expenses controlled, and opportunities for reinvestment identified. Financial literacy transforms earnings from short-term consumption into long-term security, reducing exposure to the risks of a single income. Networking and relationships enhance resilience. Connections with mentors, peers, and industry professionals provide access to opportunities, support, and guidance that can mitigate the impact of job loss or income disruption. Professionals with robust networks often find new clients, positions, or collaborations faster than those who remain isolated. Relationships become a lever for the stability and offering both knowledge and practical pathways to maintain or increase income during uncertain times. Investments are another protective measure. Allocating capital to assets such as stocks, real estate, or other ventures ensures that wealth is not solely dependent on labor. Investments provide independent revenue streams that grow over time, increasing both security and freedom. A well-structured investment portfolio reduces the consequences of a disrupted paycheck and contributes to long-term financial resilience. Mindset plays a crucial role in protection. Professionals must adopt a proactive, long-term perspective, avoiding complacency or reactive thinking. Building resilience requires patience, discipline, and deliberate execution. Those who view income as a system rather than a single source are more likely to take the steps that safeguard their future, embrace opportunities for growth, and maintain stability in uncertain conditions. A resilient mindset balances caution with initiative, ensuring that actions are strategic rather than reactionary. Finally, continuous evaluation and adaptation are necessary. The economy, industries, and personal circumstances evolve over time. Professionals must regularly review income streams, skill relevance, financial health, and market conditions to ensure ongoing protection. Strategic adjustments, reinvestment, and optimization ensure that measures against the single income trap remain effective. Protecting yourself is not a one-time action. It is an ongoing process that requires attention, analysis, and iteration. In summary, protecting yourself against the single income trap is a multi-layered strategy. Awareness of risk, strategic diversification, emergency reserves, skill development, financial literacy, networking, investments, mindset, and continuous adaptation create a robust defense against financial vulnerability. Professionals who implement these measures reduce reliance on any single paycheck, increase resilience, and maintain the freedom to make choices without fear. Protection is not about limiting ambition. It is about creating a stable foundation from which growth, independence, and opportunity can flourish. Chapter 10: Escaping the Linear Paycheck. Designing your financial freedom. For most professionals, the linear paycheck is the default path. Work a set number of hours, receive a fixed salary, hope for promotions, and occasionally earn bonuses. While this structure offers temporary security, it inherently limits financial growth, autonomy, and long-term freedom. Escaping the linear paycheck is not about rejecting work. It is about designing systems, income streams, and the strategies that allow your effort to scale independently of time, creating genuine financial freedom. The first principle of escaping the linear paycheck is recognizing its limitations. A traditional salary ties compensation directly to hours worked and role responsibilities. No matter how competent or efficient, your earnings are capped by organizational constraints. Promotions, raises, or bonuses may offer incremental growth, but progress is linear and often outpaced by inflation, taxes, or unexpected life events. When understanding this limitation is crucial, it creates urgency to explore alternative mechanisms for income, leverage, and growth. Building financial freedom requires multiple layers of a strategy. Diversifying income streams is the most foundational. Professionals must combine earned income with profit-based ventures, investments, and passive income sources. Each layer provides redundancy, reduces dependency on a single paycheck, and multiplies opportunities for wealth creation. Diversification ensures that financial security is not solely dependent on the linear exchange of time for money. Skill leverage amplifies the impact of your efforts. High-value skills, when applied strategically, generate revenue across multiple channels. Consulting, content creation, digital products, or entrepreneurial ventures allow expertise to earn beyond a traditional salary. By packaging skills into scalable mechanisms, such as online courses or automated services, professionals convert time-bound work into compounding revenue. Skill leverage is the bridge between linear labor and exponential income. Automation and systems are essential components of escaping the linear paycheck. Systems reduce dependency on personal labor by streamlining repetitive processes, creating recurring revenue and enabling delegation. For instance, subscription-based services, automated e-commerce platforms, or monetized intellectual property generate income independent of daily involvement. Effective systems allow professionals to scale operations, maintain quality, and free capacity for high-impact initiatives. Investments provide another critical layer of financial freedom. Allocating capital to assets that grow or generate passive income allows wealth to multiply over time. Stocks, real estate, or other vehicles create returns independent of labor, gradually reducing reliance on a single paycheck. Strategic investment planning ensures that returns contribute to long-term financial goals, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of growth and security. Time management remains a core principle. Professionals must prioritize high-leverage activities over linear tasks. Time is spent building skills, developing income streams, networking, or creating systems produces compounding results. By minimizing low-value work and optimizing effort, each hour contributes to financial freedom rather than remaining confined to immediate compensation. Strategic time allocation transforms productivity into long-term leverage. Mindset is the driver behind all actions. Escaping the linear paycheck requires a long-term, disciplined approach. Professionals must embrace patience, resilience, and the strategic thinking. Short-term discomfort, experimentation, and occasional failures are part of the process, but the mindset of ownership, proactivity, and leverage ensures progress continues toward financial independence. Viewing income as a system rather than a series of transactions transforms effort into the scalable results. Networking and collaboration accelerate the journey. Strategic connections provide access to knowledge, resources, and opportunities that multiply the impact of your work. Mentors, peers, and industry leaders can open doors to ventures, partnerships, or clients that would otherwise take years to reach. Leveraging relationships amplifies both skill and financial leverage, creating pathways to financial freedom that a linear paycheck cannot provide. Finally, planning and reflection solidify progress. Establish clear goals, monitor income streams, assess skill growth, and evaluate opportunities for scaling. Regularly reviewing strategies ensures that resources, time, capital, and effort are allocated efficiently and adapt to changing circumstances. Financial freedom is a dynamic system, requiring ongoing attention, adjustment, and optimization to maintain and grow. In a summary, escaping the linear paycheck involves deliberate design on the strategy and execution. By diversifying income, leveraging the skills, creating systems, investing wisely, managing time strategically, cultivating mindset, building networks, and reflecting on progress, professionals move beyond the constraints of hourly or salary-based work. But financial freedom is not an abstract concept. It is the result of intentional actions that convert time, skills, and resources into scalable, compounding value. Professionals who commit to this process gain control, independence, and the ability to shape their financial future on their terms. The linear paycheck may provide short-term stability, but escaping it creates long-term autonomy, opportunity, and lasting impact